7 food items that have an indefinite shelf life and would never expire. Soy sauce. You don't have to worry about the delectable bottle of salty delight going bad because it's so important for Asian cuisine and sushi dipping. The bottle's cover gets a little messy when the soy sauce inside spills out onto one of the lid's sides, forming a horrible ring of sticky soy sauce around the edges. Yet, classic soy sauce only has 4 ingredients: water, soybeans, wheat, and salt. This is because acid hydrolyzed vegetable protein is present in it. Unless you believe it will take you more than a year to use the contents of the bottle, you shouldn't even need to store soy sauce in the refrigerator after opening. Refrigeration keeps the particular flavor fresher for longer. Otherwise, a report claims that a cold, dark cabinet is fine. Sugar. One of the most terrible foods in the world will endure forever and tempt humans. Whether you can retain sugar indefinitely depends on the storage method you choose. Sugar should be kept in a dry place to provide the longest possible shelf life. The sugar never expires because the sweet ingredient soaks up the little moisture in microorganisms. It causes them to die rather than causing the sugar to spoil. Yet once sugar is added to something, it might lose its shelf life, but on its own, it will last a lifetime. Don't mix this fact up with brown sugar because the way that brown sugar is processed makes it more prone to dryness and clumping together. For this reason, it must be handled differently than regular white sugar. Instant coffee. Instant coffee may last between 2 and 20 years at room temperature, which is good news for caffeine lovers. It will actually keep for the rest of your life if you keep it in the refrigerator. The best coffee is usually freshly ground, but instant coffee is an excellent fallback if that isn't an option. Moreover, freshly ground coffee loses its freshness quickly. It no longer tastes the same and loses some of its strength over time. Instant coffee tends to linger for a considerable amount of time. Instant coffee is likely to never go bad since the crystals are dehydrated using such a harsh chemical procedure. White rice. Rice is simple to prepare, filling, and absolutely great when paired with sesame chicken. White rice, also known as polished rice, is said to retain its flavor and nutritional value for 30 years only when kept in oxygen-free containers, at temperatures below 40 degrees Fahrenheit. Some even assert that white rice can actually remain fresh indefinitely if stored in the freezer or refrigerator. Brown rice doesn't last nearly as long as 6 months because of the natural oils found in its bran layer. Store it in firmly closed food-safe bags, plastic containers, or glass jars in a cool place to maintain quality and avoid pest contamination. Honey. Almost everyone knows that raw honey never goes bad because it naturally has antibacterial properties. Moreover, honey has a reputation for being a superfood with health advantages. It can be stored in a dark cabinet for up to 12 months, ideally at room temperature. The processing and sealing processes also extend honey's indefinite shelf life. Despite having little moisture, honey's sugar is hygroscopic, which absorbs moisture from the surrounding atmosphere. When the heated and strained honey is sealed correctly, moisture cannot enter, and the honey remains unchanged for all time. It is said that the oldest container of the sweet substance ever discovered dates back 5,500 years. Dried beans. Everyone's diet should include beans as a staple because they are high in protein. Dried beans last forever as long as they are kept in sealed or airtight packaging, as opposed to canned or fresh beans. Everything should be all right if you store them properly and don't let any moisture into their packaging. By all means, purchase some canned beans if you don't like dried beans. They can also last longer in your cupboard, at least for a year. Pure maple syrup. Pure maple syrup and other commercial sugars, such as honey and granulated sugar, have an unlimited shelf life due to their resistance to microbiological growth, including molds. Although unopened maple syrup will always be good, the company also guides customers in case mold growth arises. Heat the syrup to a moderate boil, skim the surface, pour into a clean container, and refrigerate if any harmless mold should develop on the surface. The best part about pure maple syrup is that it doesn't include artificial additives and is rich in vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants.